All right, what's up, my people? I want to talk to you really quickly, if I can. Talk to you really quickly about love. Okay, so love is, seems like we all know what love is. Love is a feeling. It's not an object, okay? Sometimes I feel like there's some misunderstandings about love as far as getting love from other people. I guess giving love to people, because sometimes we'll say things like, hey, I give you my love, and you don't love me the same anymore. I want to talk about love because I think it's important that we don't misunderstand love, that we know love, and that we cultivate love, and that we have love inside of ourselves. So today I want to talk a little bit about love. There's that song, it goes, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. That song actually is pretty funny, but look. So I want to talk about it because I want to get rid of some of these misconceptions about love, and I want to let you know what I've learned from the Bible about what to watch out for in your love, because we might end up having something that I call muddy love or tainted love, dirty love. So I want to get into this really quickly. So there's some things that you need to watch out for. So again, love is a feeling. I looked it up in the dictionary online, dictionary.com, and there was like 14 different definitions. So, even though we know what love is, it's a little bit harder to define. So let me give you two of these definitions that are in the dictionary. Dictionary.com says, love is a profoundly tender, passionate affection for another person. And another definition, the second definition for it, is a feeling, which I like that, a feeling of warm personal attachment or deep affection. So it's affection, it's affectionate, but what does that mean, But I do like how it says it's a feeling, okay? So that's the best way to picture love and understand love, is that it's a feeling. And that's love defined as a noun in the dictionary, but there's also the verb to love. Okay, so it's like, I'm loving you. It's a verb, to love. And it's funny because in the definition of the verb to love in the dictionary, it says to have love. So I thought you were not supposed to use the word in its definition, because I think there was supposed to be a rule about that. But yeah, so the verb is to have love. To love means to have love, which is interesting, and it should reveal something to you, is that to love somebody doesn't mean much more or anything else really than to have a feeling inside of yourself. So if you are loving someone, you're having a feeling about them, okay? And it's loving, okay? It's affectionate. Now, I want to jump into the Bible too to help us with it's a roadmap, it's a guidebook to life, and God is coming after your heart. He wants to clean your heart. He wants to have your heart. He wants you to be happy. He wants to bless you as much as you want to be blessed, really. So I want to talk about love, especially from the Bible. And we've looked in the dictionary, and you know from your own personal experiences of what love is. In your own life, you've experienced it, and we really do know how important love is. Okay, we do. Especially when love really comes low in our lives, when there's not so much love around us, you really get to understand how important love is when it comes down low. So love is very important. So I want to just get into the Bible. A few passages that I chose from the Bible this morning about love is the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verse 34. Jesus is telling his disciples, "Now I have a new commandment for you, and it's that you love one another." That's his new commandment. You know, the 10 commandments. But Jesus has a new commandment, which is to love one another. Okay? Just as I have loved you, he's saying, just as I have loved you, you also are to love one another. Okay? Just like he loved us and loves us. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Okay? So, hey, if you love God, come on, love one another. Okay? So, now, also, in 1 John chapter 4, starting at verse 7, it's kind of long, but it basically is telling us that God is love. Okay, God is love. God is more than just love, but God is love. Okay, so keep that in mind. God is love. Okay, keep that in mind. And it says, "Let us love one another, for love is from God, and whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love," which I don't know anybody who doesn't love, but anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. And you know, all right, anyways, so let's get into this. If God is love and Jesus is God, then Jesus is love. Okay? So just want to throw that out there. And it says, whoever confesses that Jesus is the Son of God, God abides in him, and he in God. Okay, so it says, God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. Okay? And it says in verse 18, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. So don't fear, okay? Perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment. And whoever fears has not been perfected in love. And we love because he first loved us. Okay? If anyone says, I love God, and hates his brother, then he's a liar. For he who does not love his brother whom he has seen cannot love God whom he has not seen. And this commandment we have from him: whoever loves God must also love his brother. Okay. Jesus says, love one another. And the Bible's telling us that God is love. You know, and whoever abides in love knows God, and God abides in him, and he abides in God. Okay? So, love is getting more powerful here. Okay? It's getting very godly here. Okay? Now, I want to give you the road markers of love so that you can pay attention to your love so that you know when it's shifting. Because look, love, just like any other feeling, your feelings change. So at one moment you might have love in your heart. You might be feeling love. You might be loving, but then it changes. You might start feeling irritated. You might start feeling different things, you know. You might have love for a moment, but then the Bible tells us to abide in love, okay? So don't let it shift on you. Stay in love, okay? Stay in love. Stay right there. Don't let it go out of bounds, okay? There are bounds, okay? And I'm going to let you know when you start going out of bounds with your love. And from the Bible, I'm going to tell you. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, starting on verse 1, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. It says this: if I speak in tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I'm a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. So can you picture that? A noisy gong or a clanging cymbal? It's just like pish pash, pish pash. Okay. So he's just noise at that point if he doesn't have love. But can you see how love gives him speaking in the tongues of men and of angels? Love is what gives it meaning. Okay? Love is what gives it meaning. Otherwise, he's just noise. Okay? Love gives us meaning. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and have all knowledge and have all faith as to remove mountains, but have not love, then I am nothing. So you see how great he says he is, how smart and wise he says he is, how faithful he says he is. And he has all this. He could remove mountains with his faith and understands all mysteries. But yet he doesn't have love, then he's saying, then he's nothing. See, all that greatness that we are comes down to nothing if we don't have love. Okay? Have love. But when we have love, it really makes us into something. Okay? It makes our greatness into something. Okay? It doesn't just turn our greatness down into nothing. And it says, if I give away all I have and I deliver up my body to be burned. He's talking about being sacrificial, being self-giving, selfless, doing great things, okay, like Jesus did for us. He gives up his body to be burned and gives up all that he has. If he does all of this, but have not love, then I gain nothing. See, no matter how great you are or great things that you do, if you don't have love, then you're nothing and you gain nothing. So all these great deeds that you do and you gain nothing is because you don't have love. See, love makes us gain in life. So love is becoming much more practical now, and I hope you're seeing how important love is in your life. Okay, it's not what you do. It's not how great you are, how much you know, how wise you are, or how faithful you are. It's you gotta keep with love. Okay, it says God is love, and it says how important love is. Okay, and remember that love is a feeling, but God is more than just a feeling. Okay, so let's keep going, because they really start to talk about the boundary of love, where it starts to become what I call muddy love, dirty love, tainted love. So let's get into it. Let's see where we get out of bounds, like we're playing basketball or something. Where do we get out of bounds? Ready? Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, starting on verse 4, he says, love is patient, love is kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. All right? Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. Okay, so I'm hoping you're starting to see. These are the roadmap, the guidelines here. This is where you get out of bounds. See, it says love is patient. So if you find yourself being impatient with somebody, can you really say that you love them? Okay. If love is patient and you're being impatient with somebody, I think the feelings have changed. I think what you had for them was love, and once you started becoming impatient, it's starting to become what I call muddy love. And just, look into 1 Corinthians chapter 13 if you really need to review these guidelines, these boundary lines to your love, okay? Because if you start becoming any of these things, you're going to know that you're going a little bit out of bounds that the feeling has changed, okay, from love to what I call muddy love. And the reason why I call it muddy love is because it's dirty, it's tainted, it's not pure love anymore, okay? I call it muddy love because you say that you love them, you believe that you love them, you'll say, hey, I love you, this is why I gotta say this to you, you're being a real okay, you're getting real rude with them, unkind. If you envy them, you don't love them. If you boast, you're not being loving, you don't have love. If you're being arrogant, if you're being rude, if you're insisting on your own way, or if you see one of your family members insisting on their own way, or being rude or resentful, irritable, these things are not love, okay? These are the boundary line of love, okay? Start getting irritable, trust me, your feelings have changed. It's not love, okay? So it's important to know the boundary lines and how to stay in bounds with love, okay? Keeping love in your heart and noticing when it's starting to change to what I call muddy love. Because we tell ourselves, I love that person, but yet we're irritated with them. I love that person, but yet we're impatient with them. I love that person, but yet all these different boundary lines, we're crossing them, okay? So that's important, especially for family, because as you see, people do change. Feelings change. People act in different ways. I mean, family members are rude with family members, okay? And they get unkind. They get impatient. They get irritable with each other. It happens, okay? It happens. This is part of being in a relationship with somebody. You know, feelings change. You have your whole emotional cycle that you're going through, highs and lows, tension and release. And you start insisting on your own way. You start going out of bounds with your love, but yet you say you love them. You say you try to tell them, you're like, I love you, but yet you're going out of bounds with your love. So can you really say that you love them? Okay? That's the boundary line, okay? So stay in bounds, okay? Stay in bounds. Know the boundary line, okay? Pay attention to your love. Stick with love. We've already discussed how important love is. We already discussed that love is a feeling, it's not an object. So sometimes I feel we get a little bit carried away with our expectations because we misconceive what love is, okay? We think it's some kind of object that we give or get from somebody else, but it's really not. It's a feeling that you have inside of yourself. You could choose it. You could choose to be in love. You could choose to have love, okay? In a moment, you could choose it. Don't think that you're gonna go seeking out love and somebody's gonna give you love. Don't think that it's we have these expectations of love that are not really realistic or in line with what love really is, and we end up hitting these disappointments. We get disappointed because our expectations are not met, and we're really not having realistic expectations of what love is, okay? Love is inside of you. Love is in your heart. Love is something you feel. It's not an object. You're not going to get it from anyone. It comes from inside of you, okay? So yeah, when somebody starts getting rude with you, don't get rude back. Don't get resentful. Don't get unkind, impatient with somebody when they're getting rude with you, because they have muddy love with you. And when they start getting muddy love with you, what are you gonna do? Get muddy love with them back? Start getting resentful back? I don't think you should do that. What is that? Okay, hold on one second, guys. Mic check, mic check. I got that under control. So now, I want to continue on, and because when you see your family members starting to get out of bounds with their love, they start having muddy love with you. Don't get muddy love with them back. Instead, you should understand how important and dangerous that is for them to start stepping out of bounds with love, because like we said, no matter how great you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how wise you are, faithful you are, if you don't have love, it comes down, you've become nothing. You're gaining nothing. Okay? And when they start getting muddy love with you, they say they love you, they say all these things, but yet they're getting unkind with you, they're getting irritable with you, impatient with you, or you with them. Watch out, because your loved one is starting to slip into nothingness. You should love them. You should bear with them. You should believe them when they say things to you. You should hope for them. You should endure with them, okay? Bear with them, okay? Don't get resentful back. Don't get rude back. Don't get unkind back. Don't get impatient back, okay? Love them. Have love inside of yourself. That's how you're going to overcome those things. Love overcomes all. See, look, if it says God is love and Jesus is God, and Jesus overcame the grave, and there's nothing that could hold Jesus back, then what can overcome love? I mean, the grave couldn't even hold love down. Come on. Jesus got back up, okay? And it says, whoever confesses that Jesus is the Son of God, God abides in him, and he in God. And we're talking God is love here. He's mixed that into that whole passage, okay? So abide in love. Keep love inside of your heart. It's a feeling that you got to have inside of you. Now, I want to end with this. Paul, in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11, he says, when I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. When I think about that, I think about these expectations of love that we have. These ideas of what love is, getting love, finding love, okay? These types of ways, okay? And then down at verse 13, he says, so now faith, hope, and love abide. These three, faith, hope, and love abide. But the greatest of these is love. So that's my discussion of love for you today. Don't get muddy love, like I've coined that term, muddy love, and you could use it too. And pay attention and stay in bounds with love. Keep love inside of you, okay? Don't go out of bounds. Stay in love, okay? All right, well, that's that for today, and I hope it blessed your heart, and I hope you're staying in love. I hope you stay right there where you're at. It's a good day today. It's a little hot, but I hope that blessed your heart, and I hope it helps you out, helps you pay attention to your emotions, and helps you keep in line and not to have these unrealistic expectations of love or people that you think are supposed to love you, you know, because they have their own battle. They have their own challenge of maintaining love inside of themselves, because they're not going to always keep love inside of themselves, just like we aren't, to be honest. We're going to try to abide in love. We're going to try to maintain love, cultivate love, but you know, when your family members are falling out of bounds of love, don't get muddy love back with them, okay? You stick with love. They have their own task to maintain love. Don't expect them to always love you, okay? Because they might get muddy love with you. And that's my message for today. So keep with it, you guys. Keep with it. Read your Bibles. Keep God in your mind. Keep God in your heart. And speak life to people, okay? So I don't know what my next message will be, but whatever it is, God will reveal it to me, and He will call me. Maybe not to share it on video, maybe to just speak with somebody one-on-one. That's just how it goes. So I hope that blessed you. I hope it helped you out, and I hope you have a nice day. All right. Peace out.